This is an interesting view. Hopefully the sun's not washing it out. From underneath, you can see how the walls are curved. That's the natural wood sticking out. You see some rocks sticking out too, especially right there. Look at that. I would suspect those were for a platform of some kind that they went around the outside. Maybe it was a poo-poo platform. Hard to say. There's a quick view of the Pueblo. And down here, I think it was probably granaries where they would have stored their foodstuffs. I'm not 100%, but I think that's a dead leaf plant right there. I can't remember what it is. But I suspect that's what it is because you can see it's very narrow here. I don't know if we can get up to those or not. But they would have sealed these off so that the rodents couldn't get their food. Because as you can imagine, that would have been a very difficult thing to protect against. Hey, look, there's a cave there. That's probably exactly what that is. That's a granary. I would suspect if we looked around a little bit in there, we'd probably see some maybe corn cobs. Yeah, you can't see that, can you? Let's get closer. So they dug this out. And they built these walls in here that were tight to keep the rodents out, and this is where they would have put their food. Not to keep it cool, but just to keep the mice from eating it. These are probably 600-year-old timbers. I don't know how they cut them that smooth though. That's pretty smooth. That's probably another one there. Well, they had a big beam sticking in that one, so they had probably some type of structure here as well. I don't think there's enough rocks for it to really have been a house. There's probably a big room right here, judging since they did have logs coming out of the wall there. But again, this isn't protected in that alcove like, so the rains over the last 600 years have kind of made it deteriorate a lot. But there's definitely a wall here. That's a wall. Let's go look at it from down below. This doesn't look like it's quite enough rocks here to have been, a complete rock structure like the other one. I could be wrong, but that's definitely a rock wall. Went all along here. Wasn't very wide. Really surprised there's no pottery up here. Used to seeing a lot of pottery out here, but I haven't seen a shard one. It's a nice sized lizard over there that ran out from underfoot. There he goes, look. He's puffing. Warning us to stay away from him because he's very, very scary. At least he thinks he is. Look at him blink. Oh, we're definitely off the trail here. I want to get up on that next ledge and look around. There's a dwelling back there. And go around the edge. The other side right there. So that's the dwelling we just visited. And I'm walking around the edge of the cliff here, kind of on a hunch because there's really no trail that goes this way. And I can see another Pueblo right down there. Look, can you see it? I've never been down to that one. I think we'll go down and scope it out. What do you say? I say we do it. So that looks like it's going to be pretty neat. I've never been over here, and although there is just a hint of a trail, I would say that 9 out of 10 people that come up here don't know about that because there's really no trail over here. Just a hint of one. We'll keep the video rolling. Just looking for corn cobs and stuff in there. Ooh, that's some type of weird doo-doo. Not sure what that is. Probably a rat or something. Alright, we'll keep going. Let's see. I guess we're going to have to go down through here. Yeah. So like I said, there's just really not a trail on this side, which is wonderful. There we go. It's a rattlesnake place, probably. Try to make a little rattling when we go in here, a little noise, like you do for the bears. When you're in bear country, you always have to make a lot of noise. If you're with people, keep talking, kind of like I'm always yapping. And if not, whistle, sing, carry a whistle. Just make a lot of noise when you're in bear country if you think the mama's gonna get you. Isn't that nice? Got a little bit of an overhang here, so it stays pretty dry. This was the first room right here. It's completely gone. Wow, look at this. I'm just amazed at how they did this. Think of the work. I wonder how long it took them to build these things. Carrying all these rocks up here. Well, there's a lot of rocks here already, I guess. But look how well preserved this is. Same type of thing. They built this thing on the bottom. If I was an archaeologist, I would say that was for religious purposes. But I'm not, so I'm going to say that was to scoot your feet through. And probably to close this entrance off better. I have to get rid of that spider there, I'm sorry. Don't know what kind he is. So that for ventilation purposes, summer and winter. Look at this wood though. 600-year-old beams. What's that? Not sure about that. Alright, we're staying live. Well, not live, but I'm not turning the camera off yet. Scoop my foot right through there. Taking my pack off, didn't think about it. Wow, this is a lot different than the other one. It's kind of in a worse state of repair. You see this wall is getting ready to fall over. It burned as well. Well, I don't know if it burned. Yeah, it looks a little charcoaly right there, but this isn't here. So maybe it didn't burn, or it didn't burn as bad. You know what? I just thought of something. Look where the mice are up in there. That's where the rattlesnakes will live. I'll shine a light back there in a minute. If you remember, there was one big beam in that other Pueblo that had a perfectly round hole, and I'm looking at it thinking that just doesn't look like it's period. I think probably what it was is where they probably scientists took a coring of the wood to do age analysis on it, tree ring, analysis. That's probably what that was, because it was a perfectly round hole. See rattlesnakes? Man, that goes way back in there. I would have thought they would have dug that out to do something with it. You could have stored something in there. Maybe they did. Maybe it just looks like a cave back in there. Can you see? I don't want to get too close. It goes way back in there. I don't want to get too close to it though, because as I was saying in one of my earlier videos, these rodents out here, especially prairie dogs, carry bubonic plague. When I say bubonic plague, I mean the bubonic plague. So the Black Death. So you don't want to mess around with too many rodents out here. You see how they mortared that into the hole. You can see the end of the beam right there, and they set it in some wet mortar, which looks like just mud and sand and little rocks. Kind of a weird little band of orange that goes across there, but I've seen it all the way across this cliff face. Some type of sediment or clay, I guess. A special type of sediment. It happened during an odd flood of some kind. Look at that beam right there. That thing looks like it's new, doesn't it? That's 600 years old or older. Amazing. Just by coming around the corner there, just hoping there might be something here, we found our own little treasure. We're not the first ones here, don't get me wrong, but not many people come here. I can guarantee it. There's no human footprints over here. There's no like paths worn where a lot of people have been walking. I bet not one person in 100 comes over to this one. Just doesn't know it's here because they didn't go around the corner. Blinders. I have them too, but sometimes I remember to take them off. Let's look at this weird thing on this log over here. It's a perfectly round hole, so I'm thinking that's where they took a tree ring sample out of that too and filled it in again. So let's go down below. I thought I saw some more stuff off to our left. But before we do, I saw this as I was just getting ready to go out. Look, this door was actually bigger at one time. See it? They had a nice big door here, and then they walled it off and made it smaller. I wonder why they did that. Was that for defensive purposes or for the heating and cooling? We'll never know. But they absolutely did it. Look, they even have honeysuckle here. I bet that's sweet smelling. Yep, it is. Whoa, almost fell over. Just so strange to see the same plants we have at home here. Let's wander around the side here. This is a very well made and well preserved wall. Don't know what's over here. We're gonna find out, aren't we? Another structure there, but it looks like it's in really rough shape. Probably against the weather. It's still standing, 600 years. I don't think they tied it together good with the other rocks. You would think they would have. Maybe this was their first building that they built and they didn't know about that. You know, if you took a long rock like this and had it here all the way over, it would have tied it together and kept it from separating like that. Well, I guess you live and learn. Let's go look at that. But we have to be careful with that one. Let's look up here. See anything up there? I don't know. Oh, I thought that would have been a walkway, but they have it walled off. So it wasn't a walkway. Well, there was a door there. Alright, we're going to have to be careful here because I don't want those rocks falling on my head, nor do I want to disturb the dwelling. I think we can step on that okay. Somebody made a step there years ago. I just want to look around in the dirt to see what we can see. They definitely came out that way. I'm not going to go in it. We can get it from the other side. Another big beam. Some more walls. I don't know what's around the other side though. I decided to jump up on this ledge because I couldn't get around the bottom, which is really, really thick with thorns and stuff. And we'll just look here a few seconds. I was hoping that was going to be cool, but it isn't. Alright, let's go through. I'm going to have to go through that wall. We will be very careful to make sure we don't touch anything going through. I just can't get around the bottom. It's plenty big, so I'm sure there's no rattlesnakes in here. Alright. Didn't touch anything. Excellent. Oh, this is neat. Look at that log. Isn't that amazing? A little burn there too. Looking back at the way we came in. This would have been a big room in here. You see their outside wall is there, so it's a good 20-25 feet into this wall. And they had another structure up there of some sort. That's just so neat. I'm looking at these logs here. And these are 600 years old. These were cut by the Salado Indians 600 years ago and brought up here for their house. And it's still there. Isn't that amazing? That's an odd little structure there. You can see how they made the wall where they put the log in we were just looking at. But look at that. I've never seen anything like that. That's probably where they hid their gold coins. There's now a little structure here of some sort. It's fairly cool in here. We'll go off that way and look for more. But you can see they definitely had a wall here and across. That looks more modern, but it may be original. Let's take a look at that weird hole over there. I don't know if we can get to it. Yeah, I guess we can, I guess I can climb right over from this rock, kind of stretch over to there and get right up to it. But I'm going to have to turn the camera off. I'll turn it back on as soon as I get across, I promise, even before I look in the hole. So I made it across that with surprising ease. And we're here. Wow, that's weird looking. Really ever seen anything quite like that in a cliff dwelling, and I've seen a lot of cliff dwellings. I keep saying quiff. I'm tired, thirsty. I wonder if they mined that out down there. That's weird looking. See anything? I'm gonna stick your camera down there. Let me know if you see anything in there. See any rattlesnakes? Let me get my flashlight out and we'll take a quick peek. Okay, let's take a quick look around. See what we can see. Here's a corn cob that I was telling you about. That's 600 years old. And that's pretty much what we eat today. That might be like the Indian corn, not the genetically modified stuff that we eat nowadays, but that's what it is, our first corn cob. Growing in those flats down by the river. And hauled up, there's another corn cob there. I think we can grab that one, just look at it real quick. There's a little baby one right there. Yeah, let's grab that one, it's a little bit bigger. You can see it looks a little bit different than what we get nowadays for like the sweet corn that we eat. The rows are slightly offset, smaller kernels probably. But that's an ear of corn that they brought up here. So maybe this was a granary right here where we're got our heads poked down in. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. A little bit of charcoal, a lot of mouse poo. So I would say with little doubt that that is a granary there. That's what they shove all their corn and grains and stuff up in it. Walled off, probably sealed off from the mice. And they would have those all over these cliffs. We might see some more. I wonder if that's original cordage. If that's just something new that the rats drug in. Let's look at it. Oh, it is, look, I think. I'm just wondering if this could have been part of a mat or something that the Indians had, you know, like a basket or something. And it looks like it's actually bent around right there. I don't know if that occurs naturally like that or not. I doubt it. That could be 600-year-old cordage or not. Could be something the rats drug in yesterday. There's some more of these things in here. Let's look at that. That looks just like reeds were laid across. Yeah, that's what that is. That's just where reeds were laid across, and that could be the same thing on those other ones we were looking at. Because you can see they're still in there. That's all that is. That's to give it strength. That's what that is, you know. It feels burned. Oh, look, that's corn cob. You can see corn cob right there. Corn cob right there. And corn cob there. Maybe they use them for, it feels like concrete. It's very heavy. That's kind of neat. Impressions of corn cobs. Again, I'm not going to dig around because you're not supposed to dig around in these places. Always leave everything you find as you found it, and don't climb on the structures. That's what that little granary is. Let's work our way around. See what's over here. If anything. Oh, just hit my head. Nothing so far. That looks like water comes down in there. So I'm not very hopeful. We'll go around a little bit further, see what we can see. So I decided to take a break. Here I've come around about 100 yards and I was on this ledge and I ran out of ledge. I'm gonna have to drop down and go a little bit further. You see there's a nice little ledge here, but we're gonna have to get down to where those trees are. And we'll go along the edge there and up through there and just see what's around this corner. I probably won't go too much further because I'm 2/3 of the way through my water now. As I was sitting here, I heard rocks rolling, so I think there could be a human coming up that path down there. Sounded like they were like right down in there. Now, it might not have been a human. Could be a bear or a panther, but I suspect it was a human. We'll probably see him here in a little bit. I just had an awesome nap. I slept for I don't know how long, but I was dreaming and heard some rocks falling below me, so I think there is definitely someone down there. Well, there definitely is something. Kind of woke me up, so if it did, I guess they're still coming up the trail, if that's the case. I'm gonna go ahead and walk around the edge there, just kind of take a peek, see what's there, and then we'll have to double back toward the Pueblo and head down the hill. Ready? I am. So I just came around the edge of the cliff, dropped down to that tree, walked over to here. There's a cave here. That's really interesting. And see that black goopy stuff? I always thought that was rat doo-doo. I'm not so sure because it's like dripping from the ceiling. What do you think that is? Do you think it's something that the Indians may have put on the walls to keep the rats out? I mean, I really have no idea. I'd love to know though. But I did just find my first piece of pottery right here. This was just laying on the ground. That's definitely Indian pottery. See the curvature? So this is probably a storage area as well, I would guess. I don't really see anything else up in there. I'm just so curious about that tarry stuff. I always thought it was a rat doo-doo, but now I don't know. Huh. That looks like an odd thing right there too. I wonder what that is. Oh, there's a big piece of pottery there. Want to look at that? I'll grab the other piece of pottery, and it's the same type of thing. It looks like just a like a cooking vessel. This is the first piece. I also saw this laying there. This looks like a knife. I think it's a blade to a stone knife. Looks like something we would use today, doesn't it? That's the cutting edge right there. So what they would have done is this would have had, probably come out a little further, maybe been half-dirt or not, and would have had a stick attached to it with wrappings, cord, cordage. And so it would have been like a little handheld knife with a stick. You could stab things with it, or skin things, or cut things with it. That's definitely what that is. I'll drop them down in the hole right there. So they get to stay here. And that's about it. We're not going to dig around at all because it's illegal and dangerous because of the bubonic plague and hantavirus and all kinds of stuff. Still sitting in a little granary right behind me, and I just looked over at this cactus. Look at the rocks on top of the cactus. I need to watch my head, don't I? So that fell from the cliff way up there. So I need to definitely watch my noggin. Kept going around the edge, another couple 100 yards, and I'm almost to where I can see up the other canyon. And I've never been up that canyon, and there's no trail that goes up it as far as I know. But I wanted to show you this tree right here. It's interesting. That tree is burned. And I've seen several others just like it that have been burned. So I guess what I'm thinking, and what I'm kind of remembering, is that some of these structures, these pueblos, actually burned. Some interesting stuff over there. Actually burned because of forest fires. Because of course they had like a lot of wood and thatching in them. So if the fire came right up through it, they could catch on fire as well. So that could be what happened to that one. Not positive, but it could be. But that's what I've read. Oh, my battery on my camera's almost dead. All right, let's look at those holes over there real quick. I'm not gonna go over to them, but we're gonna scope them from here, and I'm gonna use my binoculars on them. I don't see any signs of rocks being put up in front of them though, but we're gonna look around the edge, and then I'm gonna have to call an end to the video because all 3 batteries are dead. My one good battery that came with the camera, I got several hours, maybe 3 hours out of. I bought 2 separate batteries that say made for Sony, and one lasted 10 minutes. This one lasted about 30. So I looked around the whole canyon with my binoculars. The caves I see up there don't show any sign of having rocks in front, but I do see another pueblo down there. I'll try to zoom in on it for you. It's in that little overhang. Hopefully that's got it. If not, maybe that does. I don't think there was any path coming up this side in this canyon over here. I'm not comfortable bushwhacking from the top down, because if we get halfway down to a pour off, we have to come back up. I mean, that could put us back in the truck after dark again tonight. So I think see if I can get around this way, maybe get to that point right there to look up the canyon and see what's against that wall. But that's going to be about it, probably. But you never know with me, do you? All right, let's see if we can get around. We'll just try real quick. Still trying to get around to the peak over there. And look, someone did the same thing we're doing. That's why they broke the branch to get through. They broke 2 of them so they wouldn't hit that cactus right there. So we're not the first. Probably not the first 1000th person. I know my battery's going to die at any minute, but I wanted to show you this. Look at this beautiful big tree that died. These might be the baby ones. Smells like a juniper of some kind, but there's like a whole grove of them down here that are dead or dying. Kind of wonder why. This is the very end of the point, I think. I don't believe we're going to be able to go any further. We're going to have to go back to where we came. Oh, he is right. So this is the absolute furthest out we're going to be on this hike today. Looks like it drops off about 1,000 feet right there, so we have to go back the exact way we came. It's a neat little forest, but we're not going to go down through there. See the caves over there. And that big rock up there, we have to go down at the base of that and on around the side just to get back on the trail. So we better start scooting. Scoot! Still working my way through the juniper forest. Trying to get back around where it gets tight up there is where that other where the original Pueblo was. I just came across this big pile of rocks right here, and I was thinking to myself, this is where they got the rocks. But actually, this is where they put the rocks, because there was a building here. So that's a wall. So they had a building sitting here too, but being out in the weather, it just crumbled away to nothing. Another little treasure we found together. Probably not too many people have seen that. Not many at all. This isn't too bad. I was up higher and it was a lot thicker. I came down right up there, but I'm going to try to stay lower. It's much more open down here. Here's a parting shot of the smaller of the 2 ruins, one that had the granary right there. Some walls, and the big one's just around the corner there, so we'll try to make it and get another shot before the battery goes dead, which is at about 2 minutes, I think. I might have to put one of the old batteries back in it, see if it lasts. So we get to the bottom of the hill in case we see something neat. Let me go ahead and do that. I have to show you this. This didn't really dawn on me before when I actually used it. So this is the second of the Pueblos we found. And I came around the corner here and I was trying to look at a way to get up, and I saw a very convenient stone right there. So that was put there by the Indians as a step to get up there. Isn't that neat? I mean, I was using it without even realizing it. And there we go. We finally made it back in sight of the original big Pueblo. And it's right there, snuggled into the cliff. Looks a little bit different in the shade, doesn't it? I'm still a little bit nervous about stuff falling off that cliff up there. Look how high that is. Hi. Mama Bear Trail, where are you? I need the Mama Bear Trail to get out of here. I'm tired. I really am. This whooped me, man. It whooped my butt. Okay, I'm ready. When I was standing here talking to you about that and talking about the rocks falling on me, I kept feeling something. And I just realized I'm standing underneath a waterfall, a little tiny one. Do you see the water coming down? Drops. That's pretty cool. I'll zoom in for you. I wish there was a little bit more. I'd definitely be standing directly underneath it. All right, let's go hit the water down there. We'll take a quick swim. What do you say? I'm going to. Made it back to the Mama Bear Trail. Should be smooth sailing from here. I'm going to take my time. But it's all downhill. Just like life. Well, we're almost down to the water where I can take a little dip, but I see a frog here that I wanted to show you. So we stopped. What do you think? He's hiding. I'm glad we didn't step on him again. So I made it back down here to a little stream. And that's the end of the hike for us, I guess. Well, I got another hour or so, but I want to give a special shout out to whoever left the ropes on those trails back there. So I tell you, coming down was really, really, really tough. And without the ropes, I might still be up there wrapped around a tree. I'm going to take a quick dip in the water here, nude. I'd ask you to join me, but the batteries are about dead, so I wanted to thank you guys for hanging out with me on this trip. It was a long trip. I hiked for, I think, 9 hours. Sun's still up, and we're back at the truck, so I'm really happy because I'm so thirsty. I did get a nice dip in the water, so that kind of refreshed me a little bit. But I'm so thirsty. And there were no other tracks on the trail all the way down, so those rocks we heard rolling were not rolled by humans. Or at least no longer humans. But it was fun, wasn't it? I hope you enjoy the video. 2-part video, because it's going to be a long one. Give me a thumbs up, man. Or at least say you enjoyed it, even if you didn't enjoy it a lot. No, I'm just kidding. If you don't like it, just tell me it sucked. We'll see you later. I'm back at the truck with a few warm beverages, non-alcoholic, and I'm going to down them all.